Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. We're halfway through January 2024, and tensions remain high in the Middle East as the Iran war rages on for 2 months now. Our top story today: who holds the upper hand in this conflict? Meanwhile, a stark warning from an IRGC commander to the US and Israel has sparked concerns about potential escalation. We'll also bring you updates on ongoing peace talks, a Russian superyacht's unusual presence in the Strait of Hormuz, and challenges facing Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu ahead of elections. As tensions in the region continue to escalate, we take a closer look at the conflict's latest developments and who's pulling the strings. The conflict between Iran and its adversaries has now entered its second month, with analysts questioning who holds the upper hand in this escalating situation. The stalemate suggests that both sides are now focusing on extricating themselves from the conflict. In April 2023, U.S. President Joe Biden announced a new package of economic sanctions against Iran's oil industry, further straining relations between Washington and Tehran. In response, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi reiterated the country's commitment to defending its sovereignty in the face of external threats. Meanwhile, analysts such as Neo Shinshuan, vice president of Ningxia University, argue that both sides are now driven by a desire for self-preservation. Both the United States and Iran believe they hold the upper hand, he said at a recent China and Globalization Forum event in Beijing. This divide is reflected in the differing assessments of those involved. Neo's observation highlights the growing uncertainty surrounding the conflict's trajectory, as both Tehran and Washington appear to be re-evaluating their strategies. For its part, the United States has continued to press Iran over human rights abuses and nuclear proliferation concerns. In contrast, Iranian officials maintain that their actions are aimed at countering external aggression. The ongoing stalemate raises questions about the ultimate goals of each side in this conflict. While some analysts believe that both parties may be seeking a negotiated exit, others argue that deeper divisions will need to be bridged before a lasting resolution can be achieved. The international community remains closely watching developments as they unfold, with far-reaching implications for regional stability and global security. Tensions escalate in the Middle East as a top Iranian military commander issues a stark warning to the US and Israel over potential retaliation. A senior commander in Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has issued a warning to the US and Israel, stating that any new attack on the country would be met with a stronger response. Mohammad Jafar Assadi made these remarks during a press conference, emphasizing that Iran is not Venezuela for you to plunder its resources. The comments come as tensions remain high following recent conflicts involving Iran, the US, and Israel. The disputes center around control of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the open sea. Tensions have escalated in recent months, with all parties involved vying for influence in the region. Assadi's warning suggests that Iran views any further military action as unacceptable and will respond forcefully. Assadi specifically mentioned the United States' efforts to pressure Iran into reopening the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping lane. He stated that this will not happen, and warned that Iran would retaliate with greater force if attacked again. The remarks underscore the growing animosity between Iran and its regional adversaries, as well as its long-standing disputes with the US over security and economic interests. The situation has significant implications for global energy markets and trade routes, with the Strait of Hormuz accounting for a substantial portion of international oil exports. Any disruption to this vital waterway could have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. The ongoing tensions also highlight the challenges facing efforts to reach a lasting settlement in the conflict. Meanwhile, tensions between world powers continue to escalate as U.S. President Donald Trump makes a surprising offer to Iran amid stalled peace negotiations. President Donald Trump has urged Iran to make contact with him directly as peace talks between the two countries continue to stall. The United States and Iran are engaged in a standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway that controls access to the Middle East's oil supplies. Energy prices surged again on Monday after the situation escalated. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday, where he accused the U.S. of being unwilling to compromise and said Iran is resisting the biggest superpower in the world. Trump had scrapped a planned trip by his envoys to Iran, citing a lack of progress in talks. The American delegation stood down after Iranian forces blocked their path. Arachi told Putin that Russia would do everything it could to support Iran's interests and those of the region. He also blamed America's excessive demands and incorrect approaches for causing peace talks to falter. Despite this, Arachi praised his recent trip to Islamabad, where he met with Pakistani officials and discussed regional diplomacy. The standoff between the U.S. and Iran has had significant consequences. The U.S. has indefinitely extended a ceasefire in a conflict it launched alongside Israel 2 months ago, but direct talks in Islamabad failed to reach an agreement. Iran has demanded that the U.S. remove its maritime blockade of the Strait of Hormuz before serious diplomatic efforts can be made. The situation remains tense, with both sides dug in over their core demands. The lack of progress raises concerns about the stability of the region and the global energy market. As tensions in the region continue to simmer, a high-profile vessel has made its way through a critical waterway, sparking raised eyebrows. A superyacht linked to Russian billionaire Alexei Mordashov has sailed through the Strait of Hormuz, sparking concerns over the impact on regional security. The 142-meter Nord, valued at over $500 million, left a Dubai marina on Friday and crossed the strait on Saturday morning before arriving in Muscat on Sunday. According to shipping data, Nord is registered to a Russian firm owned by Mordashov's wife in 2022. While Mordashov is not officially listed as the owner of the vessel, his close ties to Putin have raised suspicions about the true ownership and purpose of the yacht. The sailing of Nord through the Strait of Hormuz comes at a time when tensions between Iran and the U.S. remain high. Talks between the two countries have stalled, with the U.S. imposing a blockade on Iranian oil exports in April. Despite this, 6 Iranian tankers returned to their ports and sailed back through the strait in recent days, carrying over 10.5 million barrels of oil. The sailing of Nord has sparked concerns that Russian business interests may be seeking to exploit the current security situation. The vessel's registration and ownership details are unclear, but its presence in the region has raised questions about potential Russian involvement in regional politics. With tensions between Iran and the U.S. remaining high, the sailing of Nord through the Strait of Hormuz is a reminder of the complex web of interests at play in the region. As Israelis brace for an uncertain election season, the governing coalition of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing mounting discontent among its own people. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces an increasingly unhappy public as his government struggles to achieve its goals in the ongoing conflicts with Iran and its proxies. The situation has taken a turn for the worse, just ahead of elections scheduled for later this year. In late February, Israel launched a campaign against Iran, aiming to degrade its military capabilities, eradicate its nuclear and ballistic missile programs, and create conditions for its overthrow. However, a ceasefire was announced earlier this month, with Netanyahu claiming that he agreed to it at the request of U.S. President Donald Trump. Despite this, Israeli forces are still occupying a 10-kilometer deep swath of southern Lebanon. The conflict in Lebanon has been cut short, but analysts warn that Israel's efforts have not achieved decisive victory on any front. The ongoing situation in Gaza remains unresolved, with Hamas, an Iran-backed militant group, weakened but still standing. More than 2 years after its attack on Israel triggered the war, Hamas is now seen as a force to be reckoned with. The situation is a stark reminder of Netanyahu's failure to achieve his goals, and it may have significant implications for his re-election bid. A recent poll shows that many Israelis are dissatisfied with the Netanyahu government's wartime leadership. This dissatisfaction could lead to a change in government, which would be a significant development in Israel's already fragile political landscape. Netanyahu's handling of these conflicts has raised questions about his ability to make decisions in Jerusalem rather than Washington. The U.S.'s interests may be diverging from those of Israel, leaving the country's leader facing an uncertain future. That's all for today's news recap. I'm your name, and we've brought you the latest from around the world. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back with more news, analysis, and insights. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates and to stay informed on the issues that matter most to you. See you in the next video.